Welcome back to Go Ham. If you are a commissioned salon owner or a stylist who has been tempted by the trends happening on social media, TikTok, Instagram, all the things, podcast, to aggressively change your business or your practices or your systems, then this episode is for you. So tune in.
Or if you're just an internet troll too,
yeah.
Come on down.
There's that.
Come on down.
All right. So I guess let's preface this with how we got here. I think that if you are a commissioned salon owner and you are paying attention to the trends and the changes and the pushes that happen on social media, it's very easy to get in your own head and wonder if the systems that you have in place are effective, if they're good, if your team likes them, if you're doing the right thing. I mean, I feel like those are all valid feelings that we all face as commissioned salon owners.
Yeah. Nothing makes you question your business more than a
Instagram.
22-year-old on TikTok.
Dude, dead serious though. Like, I feel like luckily I think that we are seasoned at this point and we know how this operation goes when these trends happen.
Yeah.
And we've made a lot of mistakes over the years. So I think we know that we handle them very delicately and we don't just jump ship on something or like make a massive change. But I can easily see how somebody who maybe doesn't have that experience would feel influenced to do that. We're currently in a position where we have been doing a massive deep dive on our KPIs and re-strategizing how we want to structure the opportunities for our team to advance, meaning raise their prices or level jump or whatever that means in your company. But for ours, it is level jump and it does mean increased pricing. And so we take this extremely seriously.
This is a little different though. Like, I feel like it's fine to change things in your business. Just know that you should probably research it first because it's going to cost you a lot of time, money, energy. It's going to be frustrating. Mm-hmm. And it's going to, ruffle some feathers with the team culturally. Mm-hmm. But I think it's different because we're changing because of what's going on in the entire industry. Mm-hmm. And also consistent feedback from the people who work within our walls. It's not like we just saw this post like, oh, you should do this. Yes, there has been some posts that have been thrown around, but we're not okay, we're going to change this because that's what everybody on the internet's saying. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think that's important to remember for salon owners because it's hard to you want to stay up with the times. You want to keep your team happy. You don't want them to feel like they can get something better from another salon down the street that is doing it that way, you know? So it's normal to feel that way and want to change, but you probably shouldn't pull the trigger on it until you talk with your team and kind of examine what's going on in your environment.
100%.
I think it's important, though, to mention that not every salon is the same. And demographics matter. So, if one salon on the West Coast, something works for them, it might not work for a salon on the East Coast, or size matters. There's a lot of factors that go into things when you're trying to figure out and make changes for your salon and systems. But I just think, overall, you need to do what's best for your team and not worry about what everybody else is doing on the internet.
Yeah.
Well, let's give some examples. Over the years, what have been some of the trendy pushes that have happened in social media and just the industry in general? We could use the cancellation fees or
Well, I think the
no
first
shows.
one was the hourly piece.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, that was the first one where our team came to us and they're like, well, now everybody's charging hourly, maybe we should. And we're like, okay, let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. And we did. And it's charging hourly is only going to discredit you in the future. How do you grow from there? Mm-hmm. How do you do an additional service and not charge for that unless it's taking you a whole nother hour? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The other conflict with that was that when you're being paid hourly, you don't necessarily care if you're booked and busy.
Right.
It's it's my job to get you booked and busy. Otherwise, you're still getting paid your hourly rate.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons why we were I don't know about this.
How busy would you really be if you're charging $300 an hour? I don't really know if you're going to have a huge urgency for people to get in with you. Mm-hmm. And also if I was going to you and you're telling me you're charging me $300 an hour, like if I was getting a service that's typically 1 hour, are you going to like just drag your feet and take your time so that it goes into a longer duration?
I'm sure there's people
hate-
out there
So
that
they
would.
can, like,
I
upcharge.
hate when like contractors
Yeah.
charge you like by the day or like I'm like, what does that even mean? Like how many days are we talking?
Well, tell me exactly what you're getting done in that day.
Yeah,
Like, that's what I
yeah.
want to know.
Yeah.
What are the other ones? Like, what are the other things that we've seen that we've had to actually do some research on?
Cancellation policy.
Yep.
We like never had a cancellation policy for years. And then COVID happened. Goddamn COVID. And you know, I think people were frustrated because they had people begging to get into their books. And when they had a cancellation, it was like, okay, well, I just lost out on this. And I have all these people that are trying to get in with me. So like the no-show factor. And I think that's kind of like when it started.
The cancellation policy is still such a gray area for me. Like, I understand the importance of it, but I also hate it.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't. I hate the fact that, like, you know, the girls are missing out, and then you just, like, you know, they have a big block in their schedule now, and they have nothing going on. Like, that really stinks. But in the same end, like, what happens if somebody's, like, throwing their guts up? Like, do you want them in your chair?
Yeah. Well, for me, I feel like it's black and white. Like, you have to have the policy to, like, protect from the people who take advantage. And I'm probably not going to charge a cancellation policy unless it's somebody that I don't want as a client anymore. Like, I want them to leave. And because that's what's going to happen. If you charge the cancellation policy, they're done.
Yeah.
Unless they like insist that you charge it because they feel bad, which I would never. But like things happen. Like I feel like now we're in the state where people are pissed off by that. Like they want the flexibility because guess what? They have kids. People get sick.
Yeah.
Like things happen.
Yeah.
And I think they're frustrated, and I get it.
Yep.
Taking clients in between.
Oh,
as, like,
double booking?
as like a negative.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Like your fucking hustle culture.
Oh,
If
we
you
have a
book in
big troll right
between.
now talking about that.
I don't understand how it could be luxury
And I
experience.
would love to sit down with that troll and show her if numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
interesting.
That one and like dress code, I feel like is another one that like people talk about. Like, and I'm sorry, I will die on this hill. Like, if you dress like shit, your credibility goes out the window. I don't trust you. Who's judging you? Me. And like, I'm questioning like your pricing at this point. Like, am I going to pay all this money for you to do a highlighting service with a comfort hoodie? No.
What are
we
the other
wanna-
things? Like, what about, like, I'm thinking about the Brit Siva when let's talk about it. So,
Yeah.
like, we are people who we do insane amounts of research. I mean, none of us are behind a chair at this point, so we spend majority of our time, maybe not majority, but a lot of our time is spent just basically doing research and understanding what exactly is happening in the industry. Particularly for the business, right? Like
Yeah.
we're trying to understand how are commission salons operating? How are they paying? We are very well reversed in like all of the different strategies out there. We're involved in Summit. We're involved in Brit Siva's community. We're involved in
Business
other
coaching.
personal business coaching.
Yeah.
We have explored every different angle that we possibly can. And I think that it's important that as a commission salon owner, you at least have an understanding of all of these things because you have to figure out what makes sense for your business and almost like piecemeal it together.
Yeah.
At least that's where we are. That's what we've found success in over the years.
So what happens when you have a team member that comes to you or a team at a team meeting and says like, we want to do this? How do you like respond to them? And like, what are the steps? Like whether you're with it or against it?
I'd probably say like, look, like that's a big change and I'm open to the idea, but we'd have to like do some research before we can make a change that big. I feel like this happened when we did buy into like the Brit Siva community. There was like a lot of things that I was like, oh, like that would be so great to be able to offer our team, because a lot of the times the changes that we want to make are for the benefit of the team. You know, we want it to be, you know, a benefit for people that work for us, and also like something that people that don't work for us would be like, oh wow, that's amazing that they can offer that. And when we ran some financials on some of the suggestions that she was
Leash,
making,
don't undermine it. It was not some financials. It
What?
was like deep analytical analysis
yeah,
for
I
like
mean, it took
weeks.
of time, and
We couldn't make any sense of it.
no, yeah, like it just didn't make sense for us to do what she was recommending, and that's fine. But I just feel like if you are going to make a big change like on something like that, like you gotta like sit down and do the research and make sure that it makes sense, because the last thing that you want to do is make the change and then lose the trust with your team.
Well, that's what I'm trying to go back to, like the fact when I said it's so important to know that not every salon is the same. So it's important for any listener that is invested in any kind of influencer like Brent Siva or anybody else to know, like, just because she's saying this about, you know, her personal experience doesn't mean it's going to work for every single salon, because it doesn't.
Yeah. And there's been people in like groups that have said that verbatim, like, you know, it works great for me, and then another salon owner will be like, I don't know how she makes it work, because like we tried it and it was an epic fail.
Oh, well, that's the same thing with the whole charging for the credit cards. Like, did you ever read the comments when people like always are asking? And I'm always intrigued by this one, because like I don't know how I feel about it either, but I think it's so funny reading the comments, because some are like, this just makes sense, like there's no other way, like I don't have a choice, and then other ones are like, this is so tacky, you can't be any tackier asking a client to do this. And it's just like, it totally depends, like I think, on the dynamic of your salon, the demographics, your clientele. Like there's a lot of factors to just be so one-sided and your heels dug in on one way or the other. And I think that's why I question things. Not saying for our salon, I know that, you know, we did the rhyme and the reason behind what we do. But for other salons, like, yeah, maybe it doesn't make sense, but you know.
And I mean, you know, I think that I just don't want to come down heavy on Britt Siva's approach, because I do think that there's a lot of salon owners that her views and approach and strategies do make sense for their businesses. And some of them were beneficial to ours, but not all of them. And that's kind of like the point behind this. It's just like we kind of pull from a bunch of different areas. We make adjustments, we run reports, we do a ton of deep research. We spend a lot of money. Like we spend a lot of money on coaching and mentoring and phone calls and everything we can possibly do to make sure that if we are going to implement a change, it makes 100% sense. With that being said, we are about to make a pretty big change with our KPIs. I won't get into details around it, but we've spent, I would say, the last 4 months doing a ton of research. And I will say that we sat down at the table the other day and kind of we're at the very end. We're finalizing the details. We're ready to launch. And even then, you know, we sat there and we're like, and the way we're going to present this to the team is like, we're going to give it a go. You know, we're confident that this is the right path, but we're not 100% sure. You know, we're going to evaluate it for the next 90 days. If it's great, good. If it's not, we'll make an adjustment. And I think that that needs to be more the approach when you do these things, because you don't know until you're in it.
Well, I think team members appreciate that too. I think that they love having owners that are constantly looking for like the next best thing for them, and they're just not like stuck in their old ways. And I think that a lot of times salons, and we talk about it all the time, like that typical cliche old male owner is like so stuck in his ways, doesn't want to be told nothing, isn't willing to change. So I think that is an advantage with us. I think we're always looking at, like you said, always something for the next better thing.
The other side of this is, and I think it's just worth mentioning, is that I do think there is a fine line between making adjustments and changes properly and making them too often. Because when you start to change things, like, you know, well, that's not working, let's just change it again.
Yeah, you lose trust.
You lose trust. The team gets frustrated. They don't understand how they're supposed to progress if you keep continuing to change all of these metrics that maybe you're tracking. So I do think that that is, you know, that is something to be said. Like you can't take these things lightly. And that's the whole point of this episode.
In like the implementation process, I mean, I think from our experience, it takes probably like 6 months for something to be like officially completely implemented in our salon when we make a huge change like that. And just imagine, like, if you're gonna wait the 6 months, figure it out that it's not working, and then change it again, that's like a whole year you've wasted on, you know, keeping your team in limbo and not knowing how they can grow.
Yeah. And I think that 6 months is important to mention too, because I feel like it takes people a lot of time to adjust to like a big change. So like they might come out in the beginning and like tell you how much they hate it and they don't like it and they want to go back. But, you know, as it progresses and like things settle down and the dust clears, then like they can see better that, yeah, this is the right move.
Okay. So let's use an example of all of a sudden there's this trend happening and there's some, you know, some person on social media that post basically like, if you work for this type of salon and they're doing this, it's a major red flag, right? Like we've seen
That's like
this.
clickbait.
I mean, it 100% is, but we've
Literally.
seen this, right? And we've had, group chats where we're like, oh boy, like, the salons are seeing this, the team members are seeing this.
Yeah.
Like, what's the approach with that? Let's just kind of talk through like how we evaluate that, how we understand, is this something that we're going to actually address, or are we just going to let this go? Like, I think that's important to understand.
Well, some of them might have some like valid points. Like, yeah, this might be a red flag because there are a lot of crummy salon owners. So like, yeah, I mean, but I think a lot of them are just clickbait, trying to get the likes and the attention, and it doesn't even make sense.
Well, it's interesting because sometimes when I see these things, I look at the comments.
Yeah.
And it's like, in my opinion, I'm sitting here like, oh, like fixed mindset, fixed mindset, fixed mindset, fixed mind. Like every single post is like victim mentality.
Yes,
I've been burned. Like
it's always victim mentality. Always.
it's so exhausting. Yeah. So I just, so we're in that position where we have this in front of us, and let's say we're chatting through it. Like, is this something that we want to consider? What happens next?
Phone a friend.
Phone a friend.
Phone a friend. I mean, usually like we send it to each other, get on the phone and like kind of talk through it. I think it's a little different when a team member brings it into the
Conversation.
yeah. Like I
It's
think,
mommy.
but I feel like there's nothing wrong with curiosity, and I think it's a good sign if they're willing to come to you. That means they trust you enough to bring it to you and not just talk to their peers about it and be like, oh, did you see this? Like they do this,
I mean, it also keeps owners on their toes a little bit. Like, I just feel like every time I see something like that, I'm like, are we doing this? Or like, would our team members feel this way?
No, I agree with you guys. It is good.
But
Yep.
But I feel like half the time, like it's just like, I don't know,
Riff
like,
raff.
Yeah, like I don't
It
really.
is. So I feel like it typically ends at the point of this, of us having the conversation. Now we're on the phone, it's a whatever, or we're in person and we're chatting through it, and we can typically like nip it right away. But sometimes we don't, and sometimes it requires deeper research, which then I think we all turn to our own independent research. Like, hey, let's all let's do a little deep dive this week, see what everybody finds. We'll come back to the drawing board next week.
Yeah.
And then we sit down and we talk about like, okay, we're going to have a deeper level discussion on this. And then if we are still confused or looking for a deeper answer, then I think we reach to the mentors or coaches or somebody who might be an expert in this that could provide us additional insight. And then, there's times where we survey.
Yeah.
We'll throw out a survey to the team to kind of and if we get to that point, that means we're actually like considering this change. Because if now we're involving the team and asking for their opinions on it, it's at a level where it's being very deeply considered.
Yeah.
And then from there it hits, okay, are we doing this or are we not? The decision eventually gets made. And then it's implementation. And like you said, that's like a 6-month process.
Yeah.
Like, so this whole thing is like, it is not, okay, I'm going to sleep on it tonight and I'm making that change tomorrow.
Right.
Like, that's just not happening ever. This is a very, very, very serious thing, at least for our companies it is.
Yeah.
And, I just hope that this message lands with any commissioned salon owners who are in the position where you're questioning your business practices or your systems based off of somebody on TikTok or Instagram. And listen, I know we had said earlier, like a 22-year-old on TikTok, funny laugh, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's like sometimes it's us probably.
Yeah.
Like someone who like actually has knowledge of the business and is successful, and this is their viewpoint. Just because it's our viewpoint doesn't mean it's going to be yours. So just worth kind of diving into.
I think also like a big difference is like it could start there, like on the social media world, but I think with the changes that we're making right now, I feel like it did start there.
Yeah.
And as we've kind of like navigated through this over the years, and I could probably say that we're talking about retail because this is going to be out there in the universe for our team by the time this episode comes out. But yeah, like retail, and we kind of try to lean into like the guest experience, and it's just still coming up as a challenge for the team, not only the team, like salon owners all over the world. And then I think the nail in the coffin was like when we sat down with some coaches and they're like, look, like this is the reality that they're facing right now. And for you to decide on whether they get to make more money based on this is kind of not fair. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that was kind of like the nail in the coffin for us.
Yeah.
It's definitely enlightening.
For sure. I feel like we've been doing a really, really deep dive. The past year minimum has been very much focused on guest experience, consultations, making sure the guests feel nurtured and cared for. And that is the direction that I continue to see us going in. And as we progress into this next season for our business, I do feel that I don't see the retail dipping off, like, zero. No one's going to sell any retail anywhere. I don't see that happening. I think that as long as we're focused on the right things and making sure the clients feel taken care of, that retail conversation still has to happen.
Yeah.
And depending, the numbers, I don't want to hold anybody back, but I do think that, I think it'll still continue to happen.
What are your thoughts on like these trends of like people filming like their one-on-ones with their team and calling clients and like I understand like they want, I think they're trying to be authentic is the goal, but like what are your thoughts on salon owners doing that?
Number one, do you have permission to film? I don't know. I mean, I think people, let me think about this.
I feel like since it started, like I'm starting to see like more of it.
Okay, so here's my thoughts on it. I think I love owners who invest in their people. And when I say that, I mean time. If you're sitting down with your team and you're having one-on-ones and learning about, their business and helping grow them, I'm here for it. Now, posting on social with it, a little tricky. I can't say, listen, I've filmed myself in quarterlies, but the video or, meetings, the sound has never been on because I don't think that's too personal to share. But I don't know. I guess if the team member's okay with it and maybe it's a positive or there's, some sort of outcome that is driving them. Are these posts getting a lot of attention? I'm not paying attention to it.
Yeah,
they are?
Usually do. And a lot of the times, like, supportive.
Yeah.
Like, thank you so much for, I think they're, like, when it's an interaction with the client, it's like, I love that you, like, stand up for your team, which I get. But do I think that you need to, like, show it on social media? Probably not. It's like mean girl energy. Like, don't bring that into 2026.
Please. Yep. The year of the horse.
But the other ones with the conversations, they're not talking about anything personal, like the one-on-ones. It's more so like, this is what you did in services. So I imagine the stylists they have to be cool with it.
So I have a question about these. Are they filming is it mostly are the stylists involved in the video or is it just the owner? Okay, so it's like you're seeing this as a whole and you're watching a discussion or a conversation happen, both sides speaking.
Yeah, or they're like giving them a big bonus for what they hit in like services, but then like cool. People are saying that's not enough money. Like it's funny.
The trolls.
Yeah.
Are they mostly on TikTok?
Yeah.
The TikTok trolls are trolling.
They're over with me on TikTok.
Oh my gosh. All right. So, yeah, I don't know. It's not something I see myself doing ever.
I know. I'm just curious if like salon owners see this happen and like, oh, well, maybe I should like film my quarterly convo or my like one-on-ones, or maybe I should film myself bitching out a client for being an asshole.
Yeah.
You got to be careful there.
That's wild.
So I think like all in all, like it's okay to question whether or not like to bring in these, ideas that happen on Instagram and TikTok. But I think what you really need to do is like sit down and research and ask yourself, like, is this going to make sense? Because like the team depends on you to figure that out and you got to protect that at all costs.
With that, I think it's also important to acknowledge that, the way you're doing things today likely isn't going to be the way you're doing things in 5 years. So just know that, and I feel like a lot of salon owners get very used to things working really well and feeling right. And the idea feels daunting to even consider a change. But like we said earlier, if something makes sense to at least do the research, a lot of times it may be something worth considering. And if it's not now, maybe it's something in the future. I feel like that's happened a lot for us where we've come across an idea and we've sat on it for a bit, we've done the research, and then maybe it's not something we change right now, but it is something we change in the future. And we can use retail as the example. We've been leaning into this for a few years now and played around with it and kind of thought things through. And we're finally at a point where we're actually moving it. But if you would have told us that 5 years ago, I would have been like, no, like no shot.
Like 6 months ago.
Whatever.
If you found value, hit like, subscribe, send it to your friends. And if you want even more, head over to our website, gohampod.com, and we'll catch you on the next one.